EazyRyderMoto friends and family, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when new content is uploaded to you. Today's topic of discussion on Tech Talk Thursdays are motorcycle fuels and the performance advantages that they have. Currently along Roadkill, I have three fuels. I have a C85 VP Racing fuel. I have 93 pump fuel from Shell gas station. And I also have VP Racing Fuel's MR12, which is also known as the most common performance fuel that you see most people run. So starting off with the 93 octane fuel, you can go to any gas station and collect 93 octane fuels as long as they offer it in your local area. Some offer 91, which is a premium octane fuel as well. Roadkill runs phenomenal and runs exceptionally well on pump fuels, which is a very consistent fuel for this performance on this motorcycle. It is a pump fuel, so you can get it pretty much anywhere, and the consistencies do change, but that is with any fuel that you're going to run. Currently in my local my local gas station, I'm running the fuel price of about $4.25 per gallon. And Roadkill has a 4.5 gallon fuel tank. So it usually roughly costs me about $15 to $20 from empty to fuel my motorcycle tank up. It is a fuel that anybody can get. It's a common fuel that people run in their motorcycles. So it's just a premium fuel. You really don't notice much from it performance wise. This is just basically a average standard here with this fuel. Moving along to C85 by VP Racing Fuels. C85 is a canned ethanol-based fuel. It is E85 with some additives added to it in a can form. So it does give you performance upgrades. And in comparison to these fuels here between C85 and pump fuel, Roadkill made 206 horsepower on a dyno with 93 pump fuel inside of it. Roadkill made 213 horsepower with C85 fuel in it. So C85 is going to offer you some performance upgrades as far as the average cheap horsepower, the same as E85 from a gas station would. It's just this has a more consistent make to it. And in order to change the fuel process, because the BMW S1000 is fuel adaptive and you can add different fuels inside of it, make sure you do check out BT Moto and you use my promo code when you do at EazyRyder5 for your discounted race, because in order to use these fuels and switch these fuels up, the motorcycle does have to be changed in the tune, because a C85 fuel, E85 fuel, X85 fuel, any ethanol-based fuel does generally cost for 30 to 35% more fuel in the tune over pump fuel. What that means is your motorcycle is going to demand 30 to 35% more fuel in the tune. Because the motorcycle is calling for that, you're going to also notice a slight change in your mile per gallon. Your miles are going to go down in your fuel consumption. So a can of this E85 or C85 runs you right around $85 for the can, for a 5-gallon drum. So you break that down. I can't do the math right off of hand, but for 5 gallons, $85, you're looking at right around maybe about $20, $20, $17, $18 per gallon, just off quick math. $17, $18 per gallon versus $4 a gallon, but 206 horsepower on pump fuel, 213 horsepower on C85. Is it worth it to you to spend that type of money? Well, moving over into the MR12 base fuel, which is the most common race fuel that you'll see, this drum of MR12 race fuel is the most potent when it comes to stock motor fuels. It is a dangerous fuel. It is a highly flammable fuel, but this fuel here is known for giving you about 10 horsepower advantage over pump fuel. So what you'll notice is a lot of people run this fuel in their bikes. They'll drain all the pump fuel out. They'll switch their maps to it. Fortunately, with the Brand Tuning handheld, the map is the same in the fuel, and it will allow the motorcycle to adapt to this fuel if added to it. So the same map that's on my 93 pump fuel is also on my MR12 map fuel. So I can just pour the MR12 fuel inside of Roadkill and gain 10 horsepower roughly on there, which on the dyno, MR12 in Roadkill made 216 horsepower. So that is about a 10 horsepower advantage over the pump fuel, and it's about a 3 horsepower advantage over the C85. Now here's the shocker to it. 3 horsepower does make a huge difference. 3 horsepower will make a noticeable gain in performance, especially 10 horsepower over a fuel of 93 octane. But here's the kicker. This can of 5 gallons will cost you anywhere from $165 to $200 US dollars. So therefore, that means for 5 gallons, you're paying upwards of $40 per gallon. Huge jump in price for just 3 horsepower over the C85. Huge price point jump up for just the 93 octane. 10 horsepower difference between 93 octane and MR12. 3 horsepower difference between C85 and MR12. But there is almost $100 price difference between C85 fuel, which will be this fuel can here, and MR12. The question is it worth it to you to spend the extra amount of money for 3 horsepower in the 2 of these fuels? To me, justifiable, I can't really see it. There's more things to it because when I speak on these numbers in fuel, these are peak numbers. There are different numbers that the dyno graph will show you, that the horsepower comes in different areas, the torque comes in different areas, and it also lets you know exactly what your bike is doing real time. So this is just a comparative peak horsepower video that's going to give you the peak horsepower gains from these fuels, because they do, like I said, offer different performance advantages in different areas in the RPMs. So hopefully this video was helpful for you, because this video is something that I was looking for myself in comparison of the 2. And once I did the real-time testing myself in data logs, I was able to determine that I personally will run C85 fuel to save some money or X85. X85 is a similar thing to C85 as far as the content, but this has a little bit more oxygen in the fuel, almost like a canned version of MR12. It's the E85 version of MR12 is the way it was explained. So the X85 cost right around $55 per gallon for 5 gallons. So you're looking at maybe about $10 per gallon off the X85. So what I've noticed, like I said, is it worth it? I probably will run pump fuel, 93 pump out of the Shell gas station, and also the C85 can when I want to switch to ethanol. Also, I do want to get into a brief thing that I almost forgot to mention about the ethanol versus the MR12. So ethanol fuels, if you don't know, ethanol fuels burns very clean. This will clean out your system. It will clean all the debris off of your injectors. It will lubricate the system very well, lubricate your engine very well. It's a great fuel for a cleaner. This fuel will be clean. It will come out, it smells like corn, very sweet because it is corn based. MR12 is a very dirty fuel, a very toxic fuel, a very dangerous fuel when it comes to your motorcycle and the life of the motorcycle. Although it does yield great performance, this can of MR12, if you leave it in your engine or in your gas tank without cleaning it out, changing your spark plugs, changing your oil, it will cause severe damage, and that is definitely not something that you want to experience. Usually when you run a can of MR12, you have to change your exhaust. I'm sorry, not your exhaust. You have to change your spark plugs and your oil and clean the system out with some pump fuel. Neither one of these fuels do you want to just sit over the winter, because C85 will gel up and it will turn into like a jelly, hard fuel. You don't want to have either one of these in your tank when it comes to storing. So you want to put these in your motorcycle, you dump them in, use it, whatever's left, drain it out with the pump or take the gas tank off and empty it out, and you should be good to go. But the safest fuel when it comes to storing is regular 93 pump octane. Don't forget to get your bike able to be used on multiple fuels. Reach out to BT Moto, use the promo code at EazyE5 for your discounted rates. And we're gonna go from there, man. We're gonna wrap this video up here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you do, hit that like button. Also, make sure you share it. Get with you guys on the next one on Tech Talk Thursday, only on the EazyRyderMoto YouTube channel. Peace.